Swiftwick designs, engineers, and builds performance socks for endurance athletes, featuring advanced moisture wicking, optimal compression, and contoured performance. We're proudly based in Tennessee, manufactured 100% in the USA, but worn the world over. And I am Director of Operations here at Swiftwick.
Got it. And are these folks, these are like marathoners or triathletes, or maybe just weekend warriors who want great gear?
Everything from a couch to 5K athlete to professional runners. Anybody, from a cyclist to a hiking runner to a marathoner.
What business challenge did you have that led you to look for analytics solution or find Zing?
Our ERP system that we had here featured some really antiquated and limited reporting capabilities. Really difficult to create reports, to edit reports, and to manage those reports. Making changes took hours at best, days at worst. And those reports looked good on the screen, but there was no ability to drill down into the data, and there was really limited ability to export that into Excel or Google Sheets or anything like that.
Got it. So that was making your life as a director of operations a little bit harder to just have the right information, get it to the right people, run a different variant, stuff like that.
That's right. I felt like I was flying blind.
And what did rolling out Zing look like for you and Swiftwick?
Yeah, so it was basically done in an afternoon. The rollout was really easy once we got connected to our Microsoft SQL database. The Zing team was there throughout the entire process. And over the next several days, they helped us create some critical reports that we really wanted and allowed us to watch the creation of those. So we were learning as we were creating actually important enterprise reports for Swiftwick. And also, one of the things I was pleasantly surprised by is as I was learning the product and kind of communicating with you, Zack, the Zing team even incorporated some of our suggestions into the product, which was amazing.
Yeah, you had a lot of good suggestions. You were giving us good product ideas to improve it. And then how does your team use Zing on a day in, day out basis? How do you or other folks on the team use it to get stuff done?
Yeah, I'd say two main ways, right? It's really nice dashboards that you can get a feel for how the business is doing at a glance. Literally almost like the dashboard in your car. You know how much gas you've got, you know how fast you're going, etc. So we'll put our key performance indicators on those dashboards, and everybody can have a different one depending on what your role in the business is, which is neat. So being able to see that dashboard in real time and understand how the business is functioning is fantastic. Secondly, we use it a ton just to help answer questions and help us make better decisions. It may be what are our best sellers and what are our worst sellers and what do we need to do to optimize that, or where in the country are we selling run, where are we selling hike, and all of that becomes available to us and just really helps us guide our decision making, which is incredibly helpful.
How has Zing enabled or accelerated what you can do with analytics? You talked about the ERP that was kind of slow and clunky and hard to get stuff out of. What can you do now that you couldn't really do before?
I mentioned earlier, we get answers to our questions in minutes, not hours or days, even complex questions. We can do it ourselves, right? So I'm not a data analyst, but Zing gives me the ability to create my own reports instead of using a report that somebody else thought I may want. I could create my own report by just dragging and dropping database fields into the report builder. And it's really quick. And visualize our data, so not just a spreadsheet, but bring it to life via different kinds of graphs and pie charts and whatnot. So it helps us really see what's going on in our business. The ability to export the data into CSV and work it in Excel has been a godsend. That was something we couldn't do before, at least not easily. And being able to do it and slice it however we want in Excel has been fantastic as well. I would say the last thing is, this was surprising learning for me, but Zing actually allowed us to better understand what data we even had to use. Because being able to see it and manipulate it and work with it, you start learning the commonalities between the data, and you say, oh, I can assemble it like this or like this in ways that we never even imagined before.
Really cool. I hadn't even thought about that. And last question, I know as you've been using it, you've had some feature ideas. Can you just talk a little bit about the support or the help that you've gotten if you did bump up against features that you wanted or issues that you were trying to work through?
One of the things that we had wanted fairly early on was the ability to really group data together, almost like a pivot table, except a little bit different, a little more user-friendly than a pivot table for sure, and get subtotals by category. I talked to you, Zack, about that, and within a couple of days it was available, which was amazing. We've also added things like for longer or complex reports, we can pagination, use pagination on those, or turn it off if we don't want to. So that's been great as well.
Cool. Thanks for walking us through a little bit about Swiftwick and how you use Zing, and thanks for taking the time. It's been awesome working with you so far, Mike.